we want to thank the coach for giving us this time, and it's a great honor to have the opportunity to talk with Manos Manouselis, a Greek coach with a long experience. He's been coaching for almost and related with basketball for almost 4 decades. I mean, he's been national basketball coach, silver medal with the men U21 in 2005 World Championship in Argentina, bronze medal with U16 men in 2013 in the European Championship in Ukraine. And then, of course, he was an assistant coach with the Olympiacos team, the successful Olympiacos team that reached the EuroLeague Final Four twice in a row. Beside that, we know each other for a while now because he's also a coach with a very good name in China. He's been coaching in China in Shanghai, and I'm sure that he will be back in some moments because he's having offers and people in China respect him so much. So thank you very much to be here, Coach. I wanted to start this conversation with a question. We will be talking about the article that you wrote for us in our blog in sportcoach.es. And are you an intentions coach or a goals coach? So are you focused more on intentions or are you focused more on goals? And we are talking about player development, and you've been in both in grassroots and youth development, but also in the elite levels.
Yes. First of all, like I said, it is great to exchange opinions, and I really love and respect this procedure of exchanging ideas, and I believe this is the way to keep growing and to be better as coaches and as persons. Um, Working with young people, working with the development ages, it's always a challenge. And for me, there is only one rule, that there are no rules. So it depends. It depends on the situation. It depends on the level of the guys. It depends of the age. It depends of the situation that you're facing every single time. So I don't want to give specific rules. I want to keep myself to put myself in a position that I will recognize the situation and I will take the correct decision every time. So maybe something that will work at this level or at this team will not work to the next situation. And I learned that so well in China. That, you have to forget everything you know and everything you think that it is correct. That you need to adjust to the situation and to make sure that your guys will come again next morning and will really try hard. And for me, this is the most important thing to see in front of me happy faces, people that they want to listen, people that they are coachable, that they will give me a note with their head or with a smile or just with their eyes that they follow me. So for me, this is the most important thing to adjust to the situation and to make sure you understand what you have in front of you and what is the next step that you have to do for this specific person.
Yeah, I'm asking because as a coach, that we always have this never-ending matter of development versus winning, or is it possible to have development while you're trying to win, and how the process sometimes is blurred by the need of being a winning team. And again, I'm referring to youth development when we talk about professional levels, like with your experiences in Greece and in China and Cyprus and other countries. That's something that it's a little bit more clear. I mean, you are hired to win games. If you can develop people in the meantime, that's fine. But I mean, you need to have wins in your paper at the end of the season.
You're so right, and this is such a big problem because uh, you know uh, sometimes it's really a blessing to be an assistant coach because that means that a coach is going to hire you, so he understands basketball. Because if you're the head coach and the person who hires you, maybe he's an engineer or maybe he's a businessman or that he don't understand basketball and he know only winning and losing. It's so hard for them to understand that it is very possible that you can finish in the league at the middle of the standings and at the same time to be the champion because this was the potential of the team. So for me, the most important thing is to make sure that I will take the best version of the players on the floor. I will help them to be their best the best version of themselves. So this is the way that you're going to have the best results. To me, it is like we are talking. What is more important in basketball? Winning from defense or winning from offense? It is a chain. Everything is connected. You need to develop good habits, to develop to make sure that you have the correct person in front of you, the correct character, and then to make sure that you're going to create a team with strong bonds, that they will be in the same page with you, that they will understand that the best for everybody is the best for the team, not for the individual. And for me, like you said before, the development of a player, especially with young guys, is going to give you results. The only thing that you need is to be patient. You cannot win from the very first day. You need to build something. You need to have a foundation and to build. So if you start with teaching plays and not teaching footwork, not don't teaching if you don't teach ball handling, if you don't teach let's say the fundamentals of the game, how you're going to teach plays and tactics? Maybe your guy will be under the basket and he will miss the layup. So you need to make sure that there is a balance in what you teach, and for sure there is no such a thing like a gold rule, a magic way to have both. The balance between teaching fundamentals and trying to win is going to give you the best possible result.
I remember reading, and also you just mentioned it right now, the patience required to get the results. And I think that I remember reading from someone, I cannot remember right now who said that they were talking about the sense of urgency to work and the patience to harvest the results. Related to this, what's your approach on, because it's also something that you refer on your article. What's your approach on mistakes and the learning process? Which something that it's a lot of coaches are struggling with this. How much do I have to allow the mistakes in my practices, in my games, and how that can be a very important role in the learning process of the players?
No, Coach Giannakis always is saying to his guys that as a coach, he loves the mistake of the players. He really loves them because that the mistakes are showing to the coaches where they have to focus, what they have to try to correct, what they have to do in the next practice, probably. For me, especially in the youth ages, it is the way that the coaches are handling the mistake of the players. It's very crucial because if the coach is going to make a mistake to criticize somebody, to criticize a player about his personality, somebody can make a mistake. If you tell to this guy, "Come on, you are stupid," or you did something stupid, this is so different. You really have to make sure that you're not going to lose a guy by criticizing the personality and not the action. You can criticize the action, but not the person. So for me, it is important to make sure that your guys understand that they have to focus on the practice and to try not to repeat the same mistake many times. But making a mistake, it's okay. I mean, you can accept that, and this is where you have to be a teacher and to explain to the player why this was a mistake. Because many coaches, you know, maybe when I was younger, I did the same mistake. Uh, uh, they are so mad that they're saying this is a mistake. They don't explain why it was a mistake, why this was a bad shot, why this was a bad decision, and what we are doing as a coach to help the guy to understand that this was not the best possible decision. So first of all, we need to go to a practice and be really prepared to teach things that we know so well that we will always have the answer why we do things. If we do your job correctly, and if you go step by step, then it will be easier for the player to understand his own mistake.
You're talking now about being prepared as a coach, and preparation, I think, is the mother and the father of the results. So, how important do you think is for coaches to be ready and to be prepared to coach a team? And what's your because this is a very important question for me. I always not only when I started coaching, but even before, like when I was a professional player. How do you define coaching responsibility?
Yes, I really love this saying. Maybe it sounds a little bit, I don't know. Let's say that it is uh, one of those things that you can see them in the books, and you say, okay, it is just a saying. But when they say failing to prepare is preparing to fail, I really believe in that. So I am a strong believer of the necessity to being totally prepared from the day number one to the last day of the season. So you need to have a season program, a plan for the season. You need to know what you want to do, the preseason practices, how you're going to work during the season, and what you're going to do at the postseason. And you need to have goals. If you have specific goals for every period of the season, this will help you so much to make sure that there are no going to have gaps in the program. So creating a program uh, and making sure that you have a plan is actually what is going to make the difference at the end of the season. And for sure, we're going to be better. From year to year, you're going to add things and maybe to adjust a little bit because you have different personnel and different players and different level of teams. But the general idea is going to be the same. So uh, the main responsibility of a coach is to have a plan, to have a philosophy, to have a plan, to know exactly what he's going to teach and make sure that the guys in front of him they understand that he know what the coach knows what he's talking about.
It's funny that you said that because I was thinking that during practice, many times coaches we have to deal with players that they are getting bored. I mean, practice is boring. We have to do over and over again the same things, especially when we are in youth development stages of players. Repetition, it's sometimes or many times it's boring. How can we help players to fall in love with the boredom of practice?
Yes, this is so important and so hard. I, as a coach, I really hate to do the same practice every day. I mean, I am bored too to do the same things. But at the end of the day, we are doing the same thing. So I believe that it is smart to create a competitive atmosphere in the practice. If there is a goal and two teams, two players that are competing each other, two teams that are competing and there is a goal in the practice, this is the way to have all the time, the spirit alive and everybody to give his best. And for me, one thing is that it is really important. It is that the best players in the practice they are going to play more time. This is the way to make sure that everybody will understand the importance of the practice because practice is important anyway. you don't practice hard, you're not going to play well. The way you practice is the way you are going to play in the game. So it is really simple, but you have to tell them. You practice hard, then you win the privilege to play and to compete in the game. And competitive environment in the practice is going to be the same. You're going to move this atmosphere to the game situation. So if you're serious, if you as a coach, you're really serious with your practice, that will help the players to be to act the same way.
I believe, I don't know, I'm sure that you agree with this, but I believe that the players identify if you are prepared, if you spend time preparing what you're doing on the court. The players recognize coaches that care about what they do, they care about the players, how they feel, their emotions, but also they care about their needs. They are able to identify what the players need in that particular moment. When we talk about players, and I think it's also important when we coach them, and I like to have this kind of activity with them sometime because it's really gratifying. If you have to classify from 1 to 4, one the most important, four the less important, how will you grade attitude, work, consistency, and talent?
Yes.
A lot of people believe that to be a basketball player you need to be really really talented, but what about work and and attitude and consistency?
Uh, Look, we are coaches, and we are going to have those phases around us for sometimes for more than 1 season, 2 seasons, 3 seasons. When you are a coach, I am me personally. Sometimes I spend 7 seasons in one team. So to be
No, I'm sure that you agree with this, but I believe that the players identify if you are prepared, if you spend time preparing what you're doing on the court. The players recognize coaches that care about what they do, they care about the players, how they feel, their emotions, but also they care about their needs. They are able to identify what the players need in that particular moment. When we talk about players, and I think it's also important when we coach them, and I like to have this kind of activity with them sometime because it's really gratifying. If you have to classify from 1 to 4, one the most important, four the less important, how will you grade attitude, work, consistency, and talent?
yes.
A lot of people believe that to be a basketball player you need to be really really talented, but what about work and attitude and consistency?
Uh, Look, we are coaches, and we are going to have those phases around us for sometimes for more than 1 season, 2 seasons, 3 seasons. When you are a coach, I am me personally. Sometimes I spend 7 seasons in one team. So to be honest, it's a little bit scary to be surrounded with a bunch of not correct characters around you. So I, for me, attitude and behavior is number one. I'm going to do recruitment like even if I'm looking for American players, somebody who is not the Americans in general, professionals are you can change them. You can it is easy to find another one, but I'm going to make sure that in my research I will see what kind of characters they are. Are they coachable? Are they going to play for the team? Things like this will show me where I'm going. So for me, attitude and behavior is number one, and uh, and then of course talent is so important. But I will put that fourth in my list because I believe that without work ethic and the correct intensity in the practice, we are not going to have results. And I believe that one guy with the wrong attitude can destroy the moral of the team, can destroy the locker rooms, can destroy uh, even it can be the reason that you are going to get fired. For me, this is crucial, and I'm not going to negotiate with that.
Is there any way to change or improve a player's character?
To be honest with you, I don't really believe that. I am a big fan of Coach Popovich. He's saying that they are who they are. They're not going to change. And for the professional athletes, this is a given. But I'm not going to give up with the young guys. I'm going to show them that I really care for them. I'm going to make sure that I want to know what is going on in their lives before practice, after practice. I need to find out if they have any kind of problems, anything that I can help. But during the practice, I need everybody to focus on what they have to do. So my approach is that talking about young guys, you need to give everybody a second chance, a second opportunity. Talking about professional level, no. It is if I make a bad decision, I'm not going to be that selfish to live all season like this. I'm going to change this guy to make sure that I'm going to protect the rest of the players.
And it's so important to make that difference when we work with youth players, with very young kids that they are developing, and they are trying to find their way up to the professional level. Some of them are not going to be at the professional level ever, but they are going to. And also something that you refer in your article, you are also impacting people's lives, and even after sports, or even if they don't play professional sports, like in this case basketball.
Yes.
Coach, when we talk about, and again, about grassroots and the early stages of the athletes, um, we usually say that excellence is based on the next drill, on the next 5 minutes. But it's something that it sometimes is pretty complicated to explain to a young player when they have so much to work in. Like the process and the path is going to take so many years for them, that explaining that every 5 minutes, everything that you do in the next drill in the next 5 minutes is gonna be building the excellence of their habits, or they are going to destroy those habits. Are you agree with that? How do you work on that?
Um, I think that what you're talking about now is really important, and for me, this is also important when you make it to let's say that you're going to play the final. If your practice every day is like you practice, if like you play in the final, then when you will make it to the final, when you will play to the final, it will look like a practice. So for me, the most important thing is to give to the player to understand that the only important moment in sports is the present moment. What you do now, what you did before, it's another story. What you are going to do after 5 minutes, it's another story. What is really important is now, what you do now. So if we give value to the moment, and if you, as a coach, you are always focused, and you give the positive example, and you're concentrated on what you have to do at this specific moment, this will give the example to your kids, and they will follow you. So I'm always trying to help my guys in the locker room to make them to feel more comfortable. Don't worry too much about the result. What is going to happen after the game? Don't look at the board. Just focus on the next play, the next possession, the next play in offense, the next defensive possession. So this is the way that you have to practice also. So let's focus at this transition play, at the next out of bound play. And if we do that, if we practice like this, then we can use that also in a game situation.
I'm totally agree with that 100%. Let me and we just finished, and let me throw you the last one. What will be your top three non-athletic skills that a coach can help their players to have?
Yes, that for me, the most important thing that I need my guys to have is the character. I need to see them that they are really good people, good persons. I want to see my guys to be positive in everything they do in their life. So being positive for me is the number one thing in order to have the correct environment around me, the correct environment out of the locker room, and people that are they're going to get better, especially when we are talking about young kids that you know there are so many problems with the cycle that is around them, the parents, the agents, the friends that they don't really understand sports. They have to trust the coach, and they have to trust the process that the coach is going to put on to give to them. And the next thing that I think that is important for everybody is the love for the sports in general. If you are not a real sportsman, it is so hard to be a basketball player. If you don't know that what is happening in soccer, or in you live only for what you're doing only as a person, and be that selfish, I don't think that this is good. And for me, this is the third thing that it is really important. I really don't like selfish people. So I try to explain that to the players, that they have to share, they have to give, and this is going to give them back.
That's that's great, and that's what we do here in the Sport Coach with this blog forum and this after blog talks to connect with coaches, and we appreciate your time and your never-ending will to share and open to have these conversations. I enjoy them from time to time. You and me, we talk from time to time, and I always enjoy them, and I really appreciate the time that I spend with you on the phone, because so many good things to learn from your experience and from you as a person. So I'm extremely thankful. And again, thank you so much from Sport Coach and all of us for your time and your dedication to us today. So, and I'm sure that the coaches that were listening and watching us, they will have a lot of things to reflect and to take from this conversation with you, Coach.
Oscar, the honor and the pleasure is all mine, and I am a strong believer of the fact that it is never wrong to do the correct thing. I believe that doing the correct thing is always correct. So let's do the correct thing, and this will it is going to give us this positive environment that we are looking for in our life.
And it's contagious. So let's spread it. Let's spread
Yes.
it and keep building our community. Thank you so much, Coach. Have a great day, and we'll keep in touch.
Yes, thank you so much. Appreciate it.